We are still losing too many people of all ages in the farming community as a result of suicide. RSABI is working in partnership with mental health and suicide prevention experts to increase awareness of how we can all play a part in suicide prevention.
There are lots of myths that surround suicide. You often hear people say things like that if somebody has thoughts of suicide, they can't be helped. That's absolutely not true. There's been lots and lots of research done into this now, and what they have found is that actually most people can be helped with their thoughts of suicide. So there's always hope, there's always a reason to try, and there's always a reason to help someone. And the other thing that we hear quite a lot is that you can plant the seed of the thoughts of suicide, that you might feel like if you talk to someone about suicide or ask them, that you're going to either make it worse or that you're going to create a thought of suicide where they hadn't had one before. That is also categorically not true. You will not create the thought of suicide. In fact, what research proves is that talk about suicide reduces the risk of suicide. So the more comfortable we can get with talking to people and asking them about their thoughts of suicide, the safer we can make our communities.
1 in 20 people in Scotland live with thoughts of suicide. That works out at roughly 265,000. Over the course of a lifetime, 1 in 15 people will make a genuine attempt to end their life. So it goes without saying that suicide or thinking about suicide is a significant problem, and that it's something that we are all able to do something about. Traditionally, suicide was thought of as a mental health problem, but we now know that it is more to do with what happens to people and people's circumstance rather than any kind of illness or if they're suffering some sort of mental illness or condition. It's very important to understand that there are not necessarily people who are in at-risk groups. It's more about what happens to those people in those groups. And we know that those who are involved in occupations where they are more isolated or they're at the risk of deprivation or financial instability are potentially more at risk from suffering from thoughts of suicide. One of the things that surprises people most about suicide prevention is that it's a very hopeful area to work. And that's because there's so much that can be done to help people who have thoughts of suicide. When we've spoken to people who've lived through living with thoughts of suicide or people who've survived attempts at their own life, the two things that they say to us that were most important in helping them are having someone who would listen to them, and that's really listen to them, and for someone to be kind, to show them kindness, to treat them with compassion. And everyone's capable of doing that. It's free, and in doing that, you're not volunteering to becoming someone's therapist or fixing all their problems. You can spend 5 or 10 minutes just giving someone your time, and that is enough for them to step back from that brink. One of the most effective ways of keeping someone safe when they live with thoughts of suicide is to make a safety plan. And this involves putting together a list of strategies or actions that will help you get past the times where the thoughts of suicide are their most intense or their most painful. Now, this includes people that you can contact that you know will help you, places that you can go where you know you'll be able to stay safe or be able to distract yourself, emergency contacts that you may need to get in touch with, different organisations like crisis lines or your GP or charities that are available either nationwide or locally. Making a safe plan is the single most effective way that people who live with thoughts of suicide are able to keep themselves safe. It's something that can be easily followed, and it's something that can be changed over time as our needs or circumstances change. It's very important to recognise, though, in very rare occasions, sometimes a safety plan is not enough. And if you have any concerns that a person is not able to keep themselves safe, or if you feel that you are not able to keep yourself safe, you must call 999. No one will ever criticise you for asking for help when you need it. After all, we are here to keep you safe.